Instant Potheads. You ready for another episode of Cuong Can Cook? Today, we're cooking Pho Ga. That's right, chicken pho. Now, I don't know if you know what pho is, but it pretty much is one of the most famous Vietnamese dishes that you can have. I mean, if you think Vietnamese food, the first thing you think of is pho. Now, over time, I'm going to show you a lot of other Vietnamese recipes that you can make, and they're not really related to pho at all. And honestly, I think some of them are even better. But if you ask, I would say most people, they would associate pho with Vietnamese food because it's very unique to the Vietnamese. Basically, it is just a noodle soup. A lot of other Asian cultures have them. In Japan, there's ramen. The Korean, they have their noodles, as do the Chinese. Vietnamese pho, however, is a little bit different. I think it's the spices that we use. The spices that are in pho make it taste a little bit different. Now, the Vietnamese, we're a unique kind of people. We believe a little bit in individualism. We also believe in the collective. But the individualism is very important. You'll notice that in our art, in our poetry, and in our music, we do stress the fact that it's good to be unique. And it's okay to have your own art and your own culture. So what I mean about pho that makes it individual is that after you make the bowl, and you've got your bowl of pho, you're gonna add fresh herbs to it and bean sprouts. Between the hoisin sauce and the sriracha sauce, you make your bowl of pho your own. So no two bowls are ever alike. Individual, just like you. So if you like being an individual, you're definitely gonna love Pho Ga, which is what we're gonna be making today. I don't know about you, but I've had a long week. It's been a lot of work, a lot of doing other things. I taped a few other videos earlier this week. I'm ready for the weekend. I feel like the whole week has made me a little bit friction, and I need to stretch out and basically get lubricated. So we need some lubrication before we start cooking. As always, I've got my favorite right here, grapefruit shandy. So this is what I'm going to start out with. You start out with your own, whatever you like, whether it be alcoholic, non-alcoholic. Do something to lubricate yourself to get ready to cook. Because if Cuong can cook, then you will learn how to do this too. Yeah, that tastes good. Probably not as good as the Pho Ga we're about to make. So what do you need? Here's a list of ingredients for Pho Ga. Clearly, you need to start out with some chicken. Right here, I have some breast of chicken with the bone in. We need a piece of ginger, some onions, noodles. Finally, you got some spices. I bought this packet of spices that is made for pho. Most of them are all the same. They're gonna contain the same ingredients, all right? If you look in here, there's gonna be star anise, coriander seeds, cinnamon, fennel seeds, cardamom, licorice, and clove. Now this particular kit comes with a little cheesecloth bag that you're gonna stick the spices in, and that way you can put them into your soup. You'll also be able to take them out. But to be honest with you, if you do not have these spices, do not worry. If you follow the same instructions and completely leave this out, you're gonna have fantastic pho anyway. So feel free to omit this if you can't get it. If you do get it, it adds that extra level of flavor and you might like it. So try it if you have it, but if you don't have it, don't worry about it. Don't stress, just lubricate. Into the soup, we're gonna flavor it with some sugar and a lot of fish sauce. This is the brand we use. It's got these 3 crabs on it. It's called 3 Crabs Fish Sauce, and you're gonna find this at most good Asian supermarkets. If you can't find this brand, use whatever brand you like, whichever one you have handy, and that's fine. But just in case you were wondering what we use, this is the bottle we have at home. Then garnishes on the top, we've got green onion, we have some Thai basil, and some cilantro. So between those 3, you top the final bowl with it, and then squirt on your hoisin and sriracha sauce if that's what you like. Make it your own, be unique, because America, that's where we live, and with all the freedom you get, you're free to make your own bowl of Pho Ga. Let's get started cooking. The first step of cooking this is to char the ginger and the onion. Char ginger and onion? Yes, this is the secret to what makes pho so good, all right? You throw these just into the pot and boil them, they'll add a little bit of flavor. But much like when you roast peppers, if you've ever roasted chili peppers to make a salsa, charring these is gonna add this amazing flavor that you don't even know was missing when you don't have it. So let's run over to the stove, we'll get these charred and we'll get the soup started. Come on. Here I am at the stove. I'm gonna go ahead and just turn on the burner. Okay? And straight onto the burner, we're just gonna put this process will take about 5 minutes. As you can see, it's starting to develop a little char. It's been about a minute. I've got the exhaust fan on just because I don't want to set off the smoke alarms in here, but there's not that much smoke going on. If you do not have gas burners, don't worry. The other way you can also roast this either in a dry pan or stick it in your toaster oven and put out the broiler on and do the same thing in the toaster oven. Okay? As it's charring, using some tongs, go ahead and keep rotating them so that the different areas will get their own level of char. All right? The ginger and the onion are almost done. About another minute and we'll be ready to pull them out, give them a good wash, and then we'll finish out the rest of the broth inside the Instant Pot. Stay lubed. Give it a quick rub. We're not trying to get all of it off, just some so it doesn't go floating in the soup later. We're all set. All right, hope you're staying lubed. Now into the pot, we're gonna put our charred ginger and the charred onion. We're gonna put in our chicken. Sugar. Again, not cashews, but we just happen to store our sugar in here. 2 tablespoons of sugar, a 1/4 cup of the fish sauce. And about a 1/4 cup. However, realize that it's to your taste and we are also going to be adjusting it at the end. If you really want the best flavor to come out of the spices, you're gonna dry roast them on the stove first. So I got my pan ready. We're gonna go over to the stove, dry roast some of these. So we'll go ahead and put them in the pan. Let's get it toasted. Let's get toasted. Let's get lubed. And let's go make pho. All right, everything's nice and toasty. I can smell all of the wonderful spices. And make sure that they go right here. And here's how we tie the bag. The bag happens to have a little drawstring on it. And here we go. I got my toasted spices right here. They're gonna go into the Instant Pot. And in addition to that, we got some hot water. I'm gonna pour our hot water in here too. Okay, make sure you're below the max line on the Instant Pot. What I really like about making Pho Ga in the Instant Pot. Honestly, when you make beef pho ba, it's a 6-hour to overnight process to cook up the bones. So people normally like Pho Ga, chicken pho, because you only have to boil the bones for about an hour, hour and a half to make the soup. Using the pressure cooker here, the Instant Pot, we're able to get soup out of these chicken bones in only 20 minutes. 20 minutes from now, this is all gonna be done and ready to go. So, you ready for that? Check it out. Put our lid on. Such a happy tune. Where's my minion coming out to help me? You see the minion anywhere? No? And we're gonna set to manual and adjust it down to 20 minutes. Now the Instant Pot is smart. It's gonna start itself up. It's gonna boil the water, build up the steam. It's gonna seal, keep the pressure going, get all that pressure, the water, the steam, everything going into the chicken, the spices, the charred ginger and onion, everything that we put into the pot. In a little bit, we're gonna come back, we're gonna have pho. Now to make your time more efficient, you could just keep drinking grapefruit shandies while it's cooking. Or we can start preparing the toppings like the cilantro, the onion, and we can start prepping the noodles as well. So let's do that. Okay, we're gonna prep the green onions. We're just gonna slice them really thin. Take the root ends off. We're not gonna need those. All right. To make it easier, I like to chop it in half so that they're all about the same size. Then we just start at one end. I'm gonna go ahead and set them aside. We're gonna do our cilantro the same way. Nice chop. Okay, set them aside. And now we get lubed. Okay, the Instant Pot just beeped after the 20-second cook time, and now it's already moved into wait mode. It's in keep warm. You can see it started the timer. So it's gonna count up ever since it's finished. Now that it's done, we're gonna go ahead and release the pressure. The way you do that is with this vent valve over here in the back, all right? We've had it on sealing. When you move it up to here, it's gonna vent. And you'll know it's done when the pin, the float valve pin here on top, once it falls down, that's when all the pressure in the pot has been released. So to release the pressure, we move the pin a little bit. Once you're sure that nothing's going to become boiling out of there, you go ahead and set it to wide open. It's just releasing the steam that was inside the pot. Okay. So the pressure's out of the pot. You've seen the pin go down. That means it's safe to open the lid. Go ahead and do that. Minion noise. And you should smell it. It smells fantastic. In fact, what we need to do now is we're gonna go ahead and taste it. I don't know if you can get a good shot in here, Ethan, of what our soup looks like. Go ahead and take a look at this golden, delicious soup. Honestly, when you're doing the broth right here, you want it a little bit saltier than normal. When you add the noodles in, it's gonna offset the saltiness. So I'm gonna add just a little bit more fish sauce. To prep our dry noodles, this is amazing. What we do is, we got some boiling water on the stove. We're gonna use our little noodle strainer. I've opened up the pack of noodles and we got our dry noodles here, right? So put them in the strainer. I'm gonna put the strainer, what you'll see is as soon as the noodles hit that water, they're gonna get really soft, and within 5 seconds, they're done. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pull them out. I got the Instant Pot Smart Edition. They came with these little silicone Instant Pot holders. If you happen to have some silicone gloves, this will help too. Otherwise, just use a fork and you can take the chicken like this. You see, it just comes right off the bone and start shredding it right into your bowl. Just like that. Finish garnishing with our onions and cilantro that we cut up earlier. We got the noodles, the toppings of chicken, cilantro, and green onion in our bowl. Now we're gonna take our ladle and start spooning in the broth. On top of this, I've washed some of the Thai basil, and that can go here. Give it a good squeeze of some lime. See how we did today, all right? The broth is just so deep and full flavored. Let me try a piece of this chicken. Chicken is so tender and juicy, and it really takes on the flavor of the broth as well. Really is good. Now, follow these directions, and you can have your own Pho Ga. So easy in the Instant Pot. 20 minutes of cooking time. What have you got? Thank you for hanging out with me for another episode of Cuong Can Cook. Today we made Pho Ga, right? As always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down there and let me know what you think the next thing I should make is. And if you make this dish, please let me know how it turned out for you. If Cuong Can Cook, then you can make this too. We'll be seeing you soon, and until then, stay lubed, my friends.